Should I get this one?
Okay, two different types of quadrilaterals. These are not parallelograms. They're trapezoids and kites, so they're just quadrilaterals. A trapezoid, the definition is they have exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay? Shh. That's the only thing that's true on a trapezoid. The most common trapezoid we see looks like this. This is parallel to that. Now, remember, it doesn't always have to be the top and bottom. They could draw something like this. This is a trapezoid if that is parallel to that. Okay? So that's the only thing that's true in a trapezoid. Two sides are parallel. Nothing's congruent. On a trapezoid, the two parallel sides are called the bases. So here the base is the two sides. And then the two sides that are not the bases are called legs.
Dude, I don't squat too quick.
Okay? So, shh, quiet. Obviously, if they talk about the base angles, that would be a base angle and that would be a base angle. Now, if this base angle equals that one, do you know what happens to the two legs?
They're the perpendicular bisectors.
No, if this angle equals that angle, what do you know about the two legs?
They're the same.
They're equal. Angel, why don't you come over to your seat here? Okay? It's the same thing as an isosceles triangle. If you've got a trapezoid where the two legs are the same, it's just like if you continued it on up, it would form an isosceles triangle. This angle equals that one, so that leg equals that leg. Okay? So that's the definition of an isosceles triangle. Two legs are the same. Which means the two base angles are the same. Okay? Now, this is something new. Mid-segment of a triangle, of a trapezoid. If you got a trapezoid, no matter what it looks like, doesn't have to be isosceles. Okay? The mid-segment means they find the midpoint of one leg and the midpoint of another leg, and they connect them. Okay, you guys leave the desk alone now. Slide it up, Dylan. Why don't you go sit in your seat?
Oh, yeah, please no. Oh my God. Can I leave right there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on now, John.
Shut up, Hannah. Go on for the camera. Give me after school.
Okay, so a mid-segment means they find the midpoint, so this equals that, and this equals that, and they connect them. So there's something true about this mid-segment, a couple of things. First of all, since these two are parallel on a trapezoid, what do you suppose happens with this? Mason, put that away. That's parallel too. So all three of them are parallel, which means corresponding angles are going to be congruent. This angle is going to equal that one, and this one's going to equal that one. Okay? Now the other thing is lengths. Say this is 20, and this is 12. Obviously the mid-segment is somewhere in between 20 and 12, right? If you had to guess, what would you guess?
17. 16 and a half, actually.
16 would be the correct guess. How did you get that?
4. You split them.
You split them. It's the average. 12 and 16 are 4 apart. 20 and 16 are 4 apart. It's the average of the two. 20 plus 12 divided by 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. So the mid segment is always just going to be the average of the two bases. Another way to think of it is it's right in between the two. That's what average is. Now a kite. It's easier just to draw in and label what's all true about these.
Isn't it like just like around this?
No.
Oh, never mind.
So on a kite, it has two sets of consecutive sides that are equal. This equals that, and this equals that. Then the other thing that's true is these two angles are congruent. Just these two, not these two. As if you did a real one like that, you can see this angle is obviously less than that angle, right? And then if you put the diagonals in there, two things happen. First of all, what does that look like?
Looks like a kite.
Cross.
It crossed where the
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
bisector.
It's the perpendicular bisector, right? They bisect. They're perpendicular to each other, and this one gets bisected. Also, you can obviously see that this one doesn't, but just this one does. Okay? Now, what we're going to run into here is using the Pythagorean theorem some, because we've got 4 right triangles.
Yes.
So there we went through all of that stuff. All right, since it's an isosceles trapezoid, if you know one angle, you can find all the other angles. Since this is 110,
Bless you.
these are parallel, so remember, same side, got to add up to 180. So this would be 70. Since it's isosceles, that means this is 70, and that would be 110. Okay? So those are pretty simple. Okay, to show that something is a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. We can obviously see that this is not parallel to that, but we can check to see if these two are parallel. Remember how to check if lines are parallel? Same slope. This one goes up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, so the slope is 1/2. This one goes up 1 over 2 also, so the slope is 1/2. They have the same slope, so they're parallel. Okay, again, they have a lot of this isosceles trapezoid, which are easy. If this is isosceles trapezoid, that means these two are the same, and these two are the same. So you know what to do to figure out what that one is? Got to add up to 180. So that would be 145, 145.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, then the kites. Here we know it's a kite because these two are the same and these two are the same. We want to find angle S and angle U. Now what do you know about these two angles? They're equal. All 4 of them got to add up to 360. So if you take 360 and subtract these two off, and then divide by 2, right? So 360 minus 37 minus 73 leaves 250 degrees. And since these are the same, you just divide by 2. They would each be 125 degrees. Okay, so they have those a lot in there to find the two angles that are the same. All you got to do is subtract these two from 360 and divide by 2 because they're equal. Okay? Now, they didn't show us any mid-segment one, so I want to do a mid-segment one. Again, just to remind you, if this was 10 and this was 8, what would the mid-segment be? 9. 10 plus 8 divided by 2. If this was 20 and this was 18,
16.
it'd be 16. That's the easiest way to do it, is these are 2 apart, so these got to be 2 apart. Okay?
But